Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I was dead in sin.
Where have you hidden yourself?
I was born with a twin sister. I have an identical twin. Yeah, so that's very cool. But we grew up, we don't really remember a whole lot our first 5 years because my mom, as much as she loved us, I think was broken. When we were 5, we met my stepdad and moved away, and they both started using drugs very heavily. And then my stepdad left, and my mom started doing it even more. So she went from marijuana to cocaine to crack to men to cocaine. So when I was 11, I had my first joint. And because up until then, we had moved from house to house, guy's house to guy's house, abuse to abuse. And when you move like that, you never know who you're supposed to be. Because if you're this person in this house, it could mean you're awesome and you get treated like you're awesome, or it could mean that you could get hit or stuck in a closet or starve for 24 hours. So you kind of grow up confused and alone and scared and insecure. Honestly, by God's grace, I made it to college. And I went to college, and then I started drinking again, because I didn't know who I was there either, and I tried to fit in. I see all the families with, or all the, other students with families and stuff like that, and I thought, well, God, I must really be a loser because I'm nowhere like any of them. So I tried to hide and be a chameleon again. I mean, I was kind of used to that. That's what I did growing up. And then I met my husband, and totally fell in love with him, and we have been together ever since. But it has been a definite rocky road. And then we got married when our oldest son was 18 months, and then moved away to overseas because my husband is in the military. So we moved overseas to Germany, and life sucked. Life really sucked. We had separation paperwork set up, and a friend of mine that I worked with, because I ended up working overseas, was killed in an airplane crash. So my whole life was kind of like sucking, really sucking. And I played that. I'm terrible with the Bible. I love him. I love to read it, but I'm horrible at retaining any of the stories where they came from. But there's a story about a man who tested God and the dew on the water or the dew on the grass. And I said, okay, God, I have nowhere else to turn. If this is where you want me to be as a wife and a mom, then you need to tell him to tell me to stay. And I walked in from work that night, no kidding, walked in from work that night, and my husband was sitting on the couch. And he said, I don't want you to go. And I said, holy cow, that's it. From now on, I'm gonna be a godly wife. And whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and follow him. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I was definitely saved by grace. And I've stumbled a lot along the way, but we have 4 beautiful children now. I went from dropping out of college to being I'm in my first year in a doctoral program, and I thought and that's not what it is. It's not about like the education, but it really is about turning your life over to him, and he just makes everything new. Makes everything new. So when I would stumble and when I would fall, and I would think I was a loser or idiot or bad or everything that I'd done in my life or heard growing up, I thought, you know what? I'm a brand new person. I am a new creation in God. And I am definitely saved by him.
In search of you,
And so we try and see her at least once a year, and I talk to her every day to make sure she's okay. Because God really, really forgives. He really forgives. And he puts that love. When I started seeing her as a broken woman, instead of as a mom who was, only out for herself, love just kind of came. More love came, and more forgiveness came. And I don't ever regret my past at all, because it brought me to where I am today. And I have an amazing life today, and it's only because of him. So I am undead by grace.
Go